Fantasy football is back. Finally, after all this waiting, glad the World Cup was there to break up some of those longer days. But the preseason is right around the corner, so we're getting back into the swing of things. Now, I know it's been a while since a lot of you have, visited the fantasy football world since last year, opened up those rankings. So today, we want to kind of give you a good baseline before the drafts begin, refresh your memory. We're going to rank our top five quarterbacks heading into this next season. So these are the five quarterbacks that we think will perform the best fantasy wise, and we'll give our reasons for it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our rankings. At number five, we have Jayden Daniels. Now, obviously, an injury derailed his fantasy production last season. I mean, these injuries are something you'll see often in the NFL and also on this list. Now, people forget 2024 season, that was his rookie year. He balled out. He was balling out before the injury last season, but in 2024, he was top five in fantasy points for quarterbacks. He's a special talent in only his third year. He's at the peak of his powers. And he's still got Terry McLaurin on the outside, who is eager for a huge year. And they could also add some other weapons. There are rumors about maybe Diggs, maybe Ayuk. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously, the passing isn't the main draw for Jayden Daniels. It's his running ability. Rushing ability is huge for quarterbacks because it gives you that floor. If you can get a QB that will rush for at least 50 yards a game, at least 60 yards a game, that's essentially a touchdown worth of points before you even start. So that puts him at a huge advantage compared to a quarterback who is a pocket passer and doesn't run the ball at all. And his running back room is nothing special, right? Bill, Krosky, Merritt, and they picked up Rashad White. They're going to be relying on Jayden Daniels' rushing abilities once again. This could be a huge year for him. At number four, we have Drake Maye. At this time last year, I did not think I would be saying that, but he belongs. He was a complete breakout star last year. I mean, he almost won the MVP award. It was between him and Stafford at the end of the season. But what's striking to me about how Drake Maye gets his points is the awesome balance in which he's able to score points. He was second overall in fantasy scoring. And a lot of people were dogging on him saying, oh, he doesn't have these 300-yard games. He just has these average games. He is so consistent. He gives you points through the air and he gives you solid points through the ground. That balance is super coveted in fantasy. A lot of people were talking about their schedule. Well, they ran through the playoffs and they made it to the Super Bowl. And they have a super talented offensive core that is being brought back. They're literally running it back from Drake's amazing year last year. Getting it done on the ground with more passing upside than a guy like Jayden Daniels, he is number four. At number three, we have Joe Burrow. Forgot about him? Yeah, he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Obviously, he had the injury last year, and that's kind of been the story of his career so far, so that's pretty unfortunate. But here's a guy who doesn't really get you points on the ground. A pocket passer so good and talented with such high upside that he is number three on this list. I really think he's going to return to form this year and absolutely go off. For starters, he has the top receiving duo in the NFL. I think T. Higgins is the best wide receiver two out there, and obviously Jamar Chase he has chemistry with and is an unbelievable talent. The Bengals offense exists through the air. They still have Chase Brown. He's not really this workhorse running back that's going to demand touches. So through the air is how their offense is going to thrive once again. Now, what's been the biggest knock of Burrow's offenses in years past? Their offensive line. Well, the Bengals O-line was ranked seventh last year. Okay, that's top 10 in the league. And there's a lot of belief coming out of Cincinnati this offseason that their offensive line is a strength of theirs now. Burrow's a guy that could fall in drafts due to people writing him off. Do not write him off this year. At number two, we have Lamar Jackson. I mean, there isn't too much more to say about Lamar that we haven't already said in the past X amount of years. Lamar is simply one of the best QBs in the league and is proven time and time again to put up elite numbers in fantasy. I feel like once that first game of the season for the Ravens comes along and you watch Lamar, everyone's like, man, I wish he was on my fantasy team because he can really carry you. All the things I said about Jayden Daniels, it's just amplified for Lamar. He is still playing at an elite level. He's got all the offensive weapons around him. And one big thing people were saying was Derrick Henry is going to take away some of his red zone touchdowns in years past. Well, Derrick Henry's 32 now, and that's becoming less and less of a concern. Lamar Jackson is still in his 20s. He will be dominating not only the red zone, but the entire offense. He's not done yet. At this point, you already know who's number one on the list. It's Josh Allen. So, who was the MVP conversation between last year? Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Okay, well, who led fantasy for quarterbacks? It was Josh Allen. He beat out both of them, led the entire league. And now he added another weapon, DJ Moore, who is no slouch. Allen can air it out very well, but obviously he is awesome on the ground, specifically touchdowns. He scored 14 touchdowns on the ground last year. The next best, 9, nearly half of that. And of course, the Bills have their own version of the tush push, so he's always going to get those opportunities. He is, in my opinion, the best player in the league, and he's on an offense that runs through him in a way that no other team does. He has to be number one. Well, that is the list. Those are the top 5 quarterbacks that you need to target in your fantasy drafts, QBs 5 through 1. Sorry, Eagles fans, but let me know if you disagree with these rankings and if there's anybody that you think got snubbed or anybody on this list that you simply think does not belong. We'll be doing fantasy content throughout the season. Let me know what types of videos you'd be interested in seeing. Thanks for watching The Sports Geek. Until next time.